This class is designed to help you reach into the back seat and deliver snacks, water bottles, all of those things, take trash, all of that stuff. We're going to use force in a slightly different way. There's not going to be as much breath work. There's going to be a lot more isometric training, but everything we've done up to this point is going to contribute to what we're doing because you need to be intimately aware of what your rib cage is doing as we do this. Because if you're flaring your ribs as we try to do these things, we're cheating with our rib cage and we're feeding dysfunction instead of improving function. All right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay down and we're going to assess what our shoulder needs are. All right? So you're going to lay flat. We're going to reach up as far as we can into external rotation, and we're going to come down into internal rotation. You may notice that you're reaching the ground. Just don't let those shoulder blades come up. All right? So from here, we're going to go to our diaphragmatic breath. So hands on the ribs, pushing down. Breathe in through our nose and out. Get as empty as you can. Obviously, I'm not going all the way because I still have to talk to you. In through your nose and out. 2 more. One last breath. Good. So you keeping that rib cage down, keeping your rib cage pressure into the ground, I want you to then go back and revisit external and internal rotation. What you should find is that it should feel a little bit freer on both sides as you try to reach through this. All right? Now is where the really intense stuff starts. So we're going to sit up tall in this position. You may want yoga blocks for this, especially if your wrists are giving you any problems. So what that's going to look like is they're going to be back behind you. Your hips are going to be out in front of them slightly, and you're going to be like this. Because I want that stretch on the front of your shoulders. I don't like through here, excuse me. I want the stretch here. I don't want it to be compressing up through your neck and shoulder blades coming together, all right? So the first thing we're going to do is called a positional isometric. We are squeezing the front side of our shoulder, all the stuff that's being stretched right now. We're squeezing it as if we would rip our arms back through. You don't need to do that. It's just squeeze. Squeeze the front of the shoulder stuff to pull those arms back through. It's kind of like being in the bottom of a dip. We're going to hold for a 5 count. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to take a breath. And we're going to squeeze the back of our shoulder stuff, trying to pull our hands back behind us farther. Squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So it should be like right through here. That's pulling the elbows back, not towards each other, but straight back. Almost like it's trying to shove you and your butt forward. Okay? We're going to release, and we're going to do 2 more rounds of 5-second holds on each side. All right? Squeezing forward, slowly ramp up the tension as you do it. Don't go straight to max effort. Okay? All the way up, 20 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 80. Greatest, safest effort if you can. Safe is the operative word. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And big breath. And pull back. Hold. Squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. If you can, sink a little deeper. If you can't, no worries at all. If you're not using the blocks, this is what this will look like. We're sinking our butt a little bit further away from our shoulders. Okay, in through our nose. And then we're going to start to squeeze forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Sink a little deeper if you can. Okay, pulling forward again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulling back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come out. You can always, if you need to, come out of position, shake things off, especially if you're starting to get the tinglies in your hands. Sometimes it happens. Just come out, shake it off. We're doing some big stretches here. Okay. Next thing is going to help you squeeze the back of the shoulder stuff harder and control as you lift into the back seat. Okay, so we're in our tall seated position. You can also be here if you need to be. We're reaching back as far as we can. We're walking our hips out to the point where you have the biggest stretch that you can manage across the front of the shoulders. From here, we're gonna sit forward, pulling with our hamstrings, sit forward, and we're not gonna let our arms spring back. Okay, so we're squeezing the back of the shoulder stuff. We're gonna lean forward and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come back. Reset that stretch. Okay, big deep breath, but not belly, ribs. And squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and come back down. Last one. Okay, big breath. Squeeze the back of the shoulder stuff and lean forward. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Whew. I'm sweating. All right. Your next exercise is elbow hinges. So we're doing a passive range hold, which is what we just did. And then we're going to do an elbow hinge. So you're going to bend your elbows. And then as you bend the elbows, you're going to try to stick the elbows up higher towards the ceiling. So what that's going to look like is like this. You're reaching back. You're going to bend your elbows, squeeze up higher, and then reach back further. And then bend your elbows and up higher, and then reach back further. All right? So as you do that, you're going to be able to squeak the elbows up a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And then as you extend, you want to try to keep that height to the best of your ability without just shrugging up into your neck. All right? We're going to do 5 elbow hinges. Don't rush. Take your time as you reach. All right? So we're coming out. We're doing a passive range hold on our first rep. Breathe in through your nose, into those ribs, and lean and hold. Now bend the elbows, punch them up towards the ceiling as high as you can. And then reach out, slow, reach that kid in the back seat, and then bring it all the way back. Pull those elbows up a little bit higher. Reach, 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 reach. Don't let the elbows come down. Bend the elbows, reach, reach, or come back, excuse me. And then out. As far as you can. Come back, bend the elbows up higher, and then reach. And come back. And relax. Oh. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm dripping sweat right now. Okay, so now we're gonna do what we call a shoulder swimmer car. So this is our expression of the biggest ranges of motion that our shoulder has, specifically biasing a lot of extension, okay? Tall seated position. If you need to be sitting on blocks, you can be. Again, what that looks like is this. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna put our hands behind our head. With a big breath in, we're gonna make sure we're breathing into those ribs. And then we're going to exhale, and we're lifting our hands off of the back of our head. We're gonna extend up. We're gonna internally rotate, reaching back behind us to that back seat as far as we can, then bending the elbows, landing on the low back. Right? If you're getting a lot of hip flexor as you do this, you can always cross your legs to sit up. Okay? Now you're gonna extend, externally rotate, come all the way up, and land on the back of your head. Okay? That was 1 rep. We're gonna do that 4 more times. All right? Your goal as you do this is not to cheat, right? So we don't want your ribs to contribute. We want your ribs to stay where they're supposed to be, which is abs tight, ribs are backing down. Not shoulder blades backing down, ribs. Okay? A little slouchy. All right, here we go. In. And we're going to be sipping air as we do this, not holding our breath, reaching back as far as we can, bend the elbows, come up to the low back. Pause for a sec, extend off that low back, reach back as far as you can, externally rotate to come up, all the way back through the back of the head. All right, that's 2. Out, up, rotate, pour one out for the homies, all the way to the low back. Sorry, that was a really bad joke. Extend out, open up, all the way to the back of the head. 2 more reps. Up, extend, internally rotate, reach, all the way till we get to the end. Bend the elbows to come up the low back. And then out, up, externally rotate, all the way around to the back of the head. One last trip. Out from the back of the head, up, internally rotate, reach all the way around, land on the low back, go up as high as you can without any pinches in the shoulders, extend off, out, externally rotate, all the way up, and land on the back of the head. Oh, I'll be honest with you, I'm glad I'm facing away right now. Whew, that was a sweaty one. Here, a little bit of tension in those hamstrings to tuck that pelvis. Rib cage comes down. We're going to start with an exhale. And then in. And out. One more breath. And relax. All right, as it says in the video, if you have to wash your hair, I would highly recommend doing it sooner rather than later. Because if you sit around, do nothing, and then try to wash your hair later, it's going to be hard. Or in my case, shave my head. This is one of those days where I have to lean against the wall with my arm up to shave my head, because otherwise my arms get too tired. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. I know that one was a tough one. If your triceps cramped, don't worry, it happens. You didn't do anything wrong. They're just being shortened in a way that they haven't before. And I hope your kids appreciate the improvement in your reach on your next car trip. All right, see ya.